Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today we have a 2004. It's a Ford Explorer Sport Track, and we're going to be changing the front suspension, the shock absorbers on this one. So I'm going to bring you in there. I'm going to show you what tools you're going to need. I'm going to do this by hand because most of you guys, I know you don't have air tools there, so I'm going to show you how to do it by hand. I did do the left side already, of course using the air gun. But I'm going to show you how to do it by hand on the other side. So let me bring you in there. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and we're going to get this job done and out the door. Okay, so now this is the right side, obviously. What we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do before we do anything, we're going to come underneath here with a jack. We're going to put a jack underneath the lower control arm. We're going to jack it up just an inch or two, just to take the pressure off of this shock absorber. We're going to hold this here with a, I think it's a 16mm wrench. And we're going to loosen this one up right up here. That's a 15mm wrench. Now normally I would shoot it off with an air gun from up top, but I'll show you how to do it by hand. Alright, so after we get that disconnected down there, we're going to come up underneath the bottom right here. And then right up underneath here, you see these two 13mm right here? We're going to shoot these off with we're going to take these off by hand. We're going to remove this 13mm here and this 13mm here, and then we'll pull the shock up and out. Now it's a little bit rusty, so you definitely want to make sure you spray it up with penetrating oil. Whether it's newer or older, make sure you spray it with penetrating oil. Makes it go a little bit easier. Now we're going to take our wrench, we're going to put it in here, and that'll hold the strut from the shock from rotating. We're going to put our other wrench up on the top right here. And we can just turn it now. Now, by having the suspension jacked up, it makes it a lot easier taking this apart. Right, now we're going to take off the bolts on the bottom down there. And now once we have these screws out, we can come back up top. Once we have the shock totally disconnected, we can come up here. We're going to push down on the top like that, and then we'll lift it up by the bottom down here and take it out just like this. Okay, let's grab our new one and let's put this back together. Now, we have the new shock absorber. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the shock like this. We're going to put on the top of it one metal piece like this. We're going to put on the other piece like this. And then we're going to lift it up, put it through here. And then we're going to catch the bolts through the bottom right here. I'll put these through and then I'll show you what they look like. Now we're going to screw these two nuts on through the bottom for now. Not tight, just by hand. Okay. So now we have it connected up just by hand underneath. I'll show you. And now up on top, right up here, we're going to come up here and we're going to put up our rubber washer like that. A steel piece over the top. And we're going to take our nut and screw that on by hand. Alright, and we're going to tighten that up, and that I believe is a 9/16 if I'm not mistaken. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten it up. They make a special socket just like this that goes over the top of the shock absorber just to hold it in place. So we're just going to hold it now while we tighten this up just so we snug it down. Okay. And now that's nice and tight. Now we'll go down the bottom and we'll tighten up the 2 bolts on the bottom. Okay, now we're going to tighten it up. Now we're going to tighten these up right here, but up on this one we need to hold the top bolt so it doesn't rotate, because it's a nut coming through here with the bolt. And then we'll do the exact same thing on this other one right here. Okay, so now that we have both of these bolts tied up on top right here, and we have this one nice and tight up here, and you can see how the rubber is crushed a little bit, but not too much. All right, that's it. We're all set. Okay, so now that you have the bolts on the bottom tight, now there probably is torque specs on it, but it's just nut and bolts, so you just have to go by feel pretty much. Up on the top, the same thing. You want to tighten that down until it actually pushes that washer out just a little bit. And that's it, you're all set. We're going to throw wheels on now, take it for a drive, and I'm sure it's going to be significantly better. As always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.